My cow died last week. I posted a goodbye tribute online, and strangers turned my grief into jokes about eating beef. Quick thing before we start. If you've ever felt like online spaces have lost their humanity, like empathy just disappeared somewhere along the way, drop a comment. I genuinely need to know I'm not alone in seeing this. Because what happened to me last week made me question everything I thought I knew about basic human decency. Last week started like any normal week. I had no idea that by the end of it, I'd be grieving 2 losses instead of 1. I didn't know that sharing my pain would make it so much worse, and I definitely didn't expect thousands of strangers to turn the worst day of my life into a punchline. Here's what happened. My cow's name was... Actually, I'm not going to share her name. After what happened, it feels too sacred to put out there. But I can tell you this. She came to our house the same day I was born. Same birthday. Same day. My parents brought her home as a calf when I was just a newborn. We literally grew up together. While other kids had imaginary friends, I had her. While other kids played with toys, I was in the field sitting next to a cow who somehow understood me better than most people. I know how that sounds. It's just a cow. I've heard it. But if you've ever had that one animal, dog, cat, horse, whatever, that one that just got you, you know what I'm talking about. She had this way of looking at me, like she knew when I was sad. When I'd come home from a bad day at school, I'd go straight to her. I'd tell her everything. She'd just stand there chewing, occasionally nudging me with her head, and somehow, that was enough. I played with her as a kid, talked to her as a teenager, shared things with her I couldn't tell anyone else. She was there for every milestone, every heartbreak, every moment when I needed something steady in my life. To my family, she wasn't livestock. She was family. Period. She grew old with us. In her last 5 months, she barely made any sound. She'd always been vocal. You know how cows are, they moo, they make noise. But those last months, she went quiet. Really quiet. We knew. We all knew what that meant, but we didn't talk about it. You don't want to acknowledge what's coming. That day, last week, I heard her voice. After 5 months of silence, I heard her. I can't explain what that sound meant, but I knew. Something in my chest just knew. I ran. I didn't think. I just ran to where she was. When I reached her, her eyes were lifeless. Her body was already turning cold. That specific kind of cold that tells you the warmth is gone and it's not coming back. I don't have the words to properly describe that feeling. It's not like sadness. It's not like crying. It's this pain that just sits in your chest like a weight, and you can't move it, can't shake it, can't make it lighter. It just sits there, heavy, crushing. I stood there and I couldn't process it, couldn't make it real. My grandparents didn't eat that entire day. My grandfather, who I've known my whole life, who's this tough, stoic man who doesn't show emotion, I saw him cry for the first time in my life. The first time. That's when it hit me how significant this loss was. This wasn't just me being dramatic. This wasn't just me overreacting. When a man who's been through wars, through famines, through losing friends and family, when he cries over an animal, you understand. She was more than just a cow. She was ours. She was family. And now she was gone. A few days later, when I'd processed enough to even form words, I decided to post something. Just a tribute. Just a goodbye. I posted on X, Twitter, whatever we're calling it now, with a photo of me and her. One of my favorites. Both of us together, younger, happier times. The caption was simple. Something like, "Goodbye to my oldest friend. We shared the same birthday. She was there for everything. I'm going to miss you." That's it. Nothing political, nothing religious, nothing preachy, no agenda. Just grief. Just a person saying goodbye to someone something they loved. I thought maybe a few friends would comment condolences. Or maybe no one would see it at all. Either way, I just needed to put it out there, needed to mark the moment somehow. The replies started coming in. At first, a few kind ones. I'm sorry for your loss. Sending love? Normal human responses. Then I saw this. She looks very tasty. I stared at it, read it again, thought maybe I'd misunderstood. Maybe it was a bot. Maybe it was a mistaken reply. Then another, dogs and cats are better. And then, oh, she died? Can I come collect her? I want to eat beef right now. They kept coming. Dozens of them. Then hundreds. She'd make a great burger. At least she served her purpose. Crying over food, Elmau. Bet she was delicious. On and on and on. I need to be very clear about something right now. This is not about what people eat. This is not about dietary choices. This is not about religion or veganism or any of that. Forget all of that completely. This is about timing. This is about basic human empathy. This is about seeing another person in pain and choosing, actively choosing, to make it worse. I don't care what you eat. I genuinely don't. That's your choice, your life, your decision. I'm not here to debate that. What I care about is this. I was mourning. Publicly, yes, but mourning. And thousands of strangers saw that grief and thought, you know what would be funny? Making jokes about eating her. Let me give you an analogy that might make this clearer. Imagine you're at a funeral. Someone's grandmother just died. The family is crying. The eulogy is being read. It's somber. It's sad. It's a moment of grief. Now imagine someone in the back row stands up and yells, well, at least she won't complain about her back pain anymore. Silver lining, right? That's what this felt like. It felt like laughing at a funeral. You wouldn't do that in person. You wouldn't walk up to someone crying and mock what they're crying about. You wouldn't see someone's pain and decide to make a joke out of it. But online? Apparently that's fine now. And here's what really broke something inside me. I didn't ask anyone to love cows. I didn't ask anyone to become vegetarian. I didn't ask anyone to share my beliefs about animals or family or anything. All I expected was basic human decency. If you don't care that a cow died, fine. Scroll past. Move on with your day. You don't have to comment. You don't have to engage. But to see someone in pain and decide that's your moment to be cruel, to joke, to mock, I don't understand that. I genuinely don't understand how that happens. How do you see grief and think entertainment? If I'd posted about a dog dying, people would understand. They'd comment condolences. They'd share stories of their own dogs. They'd be kind. If I'd posted about a cat dying, same thing. Empathy, support, kindness. But because it was a cow, my grief became a punchline. Because it was a cow, my pain became a joke. Because it was a cow, suddenly empathy didn't apply. And I keep asking myself, when did that become okay? I'm now grieving two things instead of one. First, obviously, I'm grieving her. I'm grieving the loss of this animal who was part of my entire life. I'm grieving the memories, the routine, the presence of her in my world. That grief is straightforward. That grief makes sense. I expected that pain. But now I'm also grieving something else. Something I didn't expect. I'm grieving my faith in people. I'm grieving my belief that online spaces still have some shred of humanity left. I'm grieving the idea that empathy is a default setting for human beings. Because what those comments showed me is that for a lot of people, empathy has an off switch. And apparently, cows flip that switch. The first grief I was prepared for. The second one? I'm still trying to process that. I keep thinking about the inconsistency. When a celebrity's dog dies, millions of people send love. Actual mourning. Trending hashtags. News articles. When someone's childhood cat passes, people understand. They get it. Pets are family, they say, and they're right. But when my cow, my family died, I got beef jokes. Why the gap? What's the difference? Why does one animal's death deserve empathy and another doesn't? Is it because cows are livestock? But she wasn't livestock to me. That's the whole point. Is it because society decided some animals are pets and some are food? But who made that rule? And even if that rule exists, does it erase the relationship I had with her? Is it because people online have decided that if you're not grieving what they think is grief-worthy, you're fair game? I genuinely don't understand the logic. This isn't just about my situation. This is bigger than one person and one cow. This is about what we've become online. This is about the casual cruelty that somehow became normalized. When did seeing someone in pain become an opportunity to perform? To get likes? To be edgy? When did just a joke become the defense for hurting people who are already hurting? When did we collectively decide that anonymity means empathy is optional? I see this everywhere now. Someone shares a struggle, mental health, physical illness, grief, anything, and within minutes people are making jokes, minimizing, mocking, telling them they're overreacting, being dramatic, seeking attention. What kind of person does that? What inside someone breaks that they see vulnerability and think attack? I don't have answers. I genuinely don't. I've spent the last week trying to understand it, and I can't. Part of me wants to believe it's just a loud minority, that most people are still kind, that most people would never comment those things. And maybe that's true. Maybe it's just the cruel ones who are loud. But it doesn't feel that way when you're the one receiving those comments. When you're scrolling through hundreds of people laughing at your grief, it doesn't matter if thousands of others stayed silent. The cruelty is what lands. And the silence from good people? That hurts too. Because where were the defenders? Where were the people saying, hey, this isn't okay? Most people just scrolled past. And I get it. It's not their job to fight my battles, but that silence lets the cruelty win. I don't understand how we got here. I don't understand how this became normal, and I don't know how to fix it. All I know is, empathy shouldn't be conditional. Decency shouldn't require you to agree with someone's feelings. Kindness shouldn't be that hard. I'm still processing the loss, both losses. Some days are harder than others. I'll be doing something normal, making coffee, working, whatever, and I'll remember she's not there anymore. That I can't go talk to her. That our routine is just over. And then I'll remember the comments. And it's like the wound reopens. There are moments when I question myself. Am I overreacting? Is this really that serious? Should I just let it go? But then I remember my grandfather crying, and I know, no. This was serious. This did matter. And the fact that people mocked that, that's not something I should just accept. I'm sharing this story for a few reasons. Maybe someone else experienced something similar. Maybe someone else posted grief online and got cruelty in return. Maybe someone needs to know they're not alone in feeling this way. If that's you, I see you. Your grief is valid. Your hurt is real. You're not overreacting. Maybe we need to talk about this more. About online culture, about empathy, about what we've normalized. Maybe someone watching this will think twice before commenting something cruel on someone's vulnerable post. Maybe I just need to process by speaking it out loud, by making sense of it, by taking the chaos in my head and organizing it into words. Or maybe all of it. Maybe it's all of those reasons. To the people who commented those things, I don't hate you. I'm not even that angry anymore. Mostly, I'm just confused. I wonder what was happening in your life that made hurting a stranger feel good. I wonder if you'd say those things to my face. I wonder if you even remember doing it, or if it was just another throwaway comment in a sea of throwaway comments. I wonder if you know that words land, that they affect real people, that behind every post is a human being who reads every single thing you write. Maybe you don't care. Maybe that's the point. But I hope, and this is genuine, I hope you never experience what you put me through. I hope you never share your grief and have it turned into entertainment. To everyone watching or listening, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to this. I know it's heavy. I know it's not the usual content, but this is real. This happened, and it matters. If there's one thing I want you to take from this, it's this. In a world where cruelty is easy and empathy takes effort, choose effort. Choose kindness. Choose to scroll past if you can't be supportive, but don't choose cruelty. We're all carrying something. We're all grieving something. We're all vulnerable about something. Treat each other like it matters, because it does. To my girl, wherever you are now, thank you for growing up with me. Thank you for being there when no one else was. Thank you for understanding me in ways I still can't explain. I'll carry you with me forever. And to anyone grieving anything right now, an animal, a person, a version of yourself, anything. Your grief is real. Your pain is valid. And you deserve to process it without someone making it a joke. If this resonated with you, if you've experienced something similar, or if you just think empathy still matters, subscribe. This is the kind of thing we talk about here. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to each other. I'll see you in the next one.